Lads, I got a question for you. It can't just be me, but these villagers have certainly large cranium builds. They definitely look a whole lot more beautiful than usual, right? How about this poetically perfect sunset slowly peering over the planter box and the hazy distant horizon? That definitely looks stunning. No, but how about in the dead of night, the evil cow overlord glowing in a red hazy glow? Oh boy, this is big. So big. How you doing, lads? It's me, Minecraft's most handsome, and oh boy, have I got the update for you. The pack with villager changes, wandering changes, diamond changes, block changes, and yes, you read that right. Shaders officially in Minecraft. The day is here. Lads, before we get lost in everything too beautiful, do me a quick favor and absolutely annihilate that like button. I'd like to welcome you to Minecraft 1.20.30. Let's do this. Yeah, so one day after last week's Big Mac of a snapshot dropped, this whopper of a preview, you could say, dropped. And oh boy, the 1.20.30 update, it's going to be massively huge. When creating a world in the .30 update, the very first thing you're going to notice is that intriguing little button right there. But keep it in mind, we'll come back to it later. Instead, slide over to experiments, and right off the bat, we got our very first new experimental toggle. We thought it was maybe hardcore for this update, maybe even the bundle, but no, instead, it's all about villagers. If you turn that on, you're gonna get new villager stuff inside of your world. Sliding all the way down to the bottom, we also have this beautiful one right here. Render Dragon features for creators. This is very early on, but it means shaders. Now, admittedly, between this preview and last week's snapshot, there is a little bit of overlap. We'll start with good old Wandy. Wonderful Wandy actually is like truly wonderful now. If we check out the trades right here, we can see that the wandering trader, just like on Java, will actually purchase things from me and sell me different things for different prices. Unfortunately, no deals to be had right there, so we check out a new one, and right there, the milk bucket. Now, if you pay close attention to the things that the wandering trader wants to now buy from you, allegedly, if it makes it into the update, well, these things kind of like line up with its lore here. Hay bale, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's like robbing the local village. It's truly just like us. The other things, like let's say milk bucket, well, you know, at nighttime when it turns into night vision mode, and then at the day when it goes away, it always drinks a bucket of milk. Now, one thing that I got completely wrong in the initial snapshot video and didn't realize at the time was the fact that these trades right here are actually experimental. If you want to get the pickaxe from the wandering rascal. Ayo, so this X has lived 100% rent-free in my head since I've seen it on the day that it dropped. The Potato Man, you're a genius. The rascal is now in the game. You can buy enchanted iron pickaxes from wandering traders. Oh, yeah, so this one is for the OGs out there. You might remember last year's mob vote, which the next one's sneaking up real quick. Anyways, last year's mob vote, look at that boy right there. An enchanted pickaxe if you catch the rascal 3 times. They did it. They put it into the game. Look, next up, all we need is some kind of item statue thing to be added to the game too that'll be able to decease peacefully. Please, let's make it happen. Alright, so for this next one, you will have to excuse my ignorance, please. I've only been playing this game for like 3 months, but the recipe command. We got a brand new recipe-related command inside of this snapshot. Excuse me, game rule. There's going to be game rule recipes unlock. Now, by default, it's going to be set to false. If you set this game rule to true, then any recipe that you have not unlocked, you won't be able to craft quite yet. So this one goes hand in hand with one of the biggest pieces of the update that I think is going to drop next week. Where my ignorance comes in here is Minecraft's Java edition. I'm not too sure if Minecraft Java has this one or not yet. But anyways, let's say I modified that game rule and set it to true. Then I found spruce things, but somehow didn't unlock the recipe. Well, if I didn't unlock the recipe for, say, the slabs, I wouldn't be able to craft it. And in worlds of normal survival Minecraft, is probably not going to be that useful, but maybe in the world of like challenge modes and things like that, maps, it might be pretty cool. And speaking of feedback, challenges, maps, whatever, the marketplace, maybe you bought some kind of like map or something. It was supposed to be hardcore Minecraft, but it was just like garbage. Well, now there's going to be a feedback option. This is absolutely beautiful, and I'm sure every single piece of feedback will always be listened to. Next up, seeing as we're right next to a village here, let's talk a little bit about experimental villagers. Experimental villagers has made it into Bedrock Edition inside of this update. If we take a villager, and we take a lectern, and we take a bed, I guess, on Minecraft Bedrock, then this villager should be able to claim the bed and take the new job. So, you don't look like the library man. No, you're not. Maybe it has something to do with the beautiful sunset that was popping up. Wrong time of the day? Hey, you want to go to work now? Experimental villager trading. Oh boy, when I first saw this in the snapshot a couple days ago, I was just all excited. I thought, no way, there's no chance anybody will like dislike this one, but it's not the case here. Yeah, so plot twist, all of this experimental trading stuff is actually a little bit more controversial than I would have initially expected. If you haven't heard about this one by now, maybe you live under a rock or something, check this out. If we look at the villagers' trades right here, we got nothing interesting. So we go ahead and break that and place it back down. Go ahead, lad. No, don't run away. Look, there's no arguing at all that these librarian villagers are insanely overpowered. This lad right here, I place it down with a lectern, and I see this trade. If I didn't want this trade and I wanted to say mending, I just break the lectern and place it down repeatedly until I get the trade and price of my dreams. That's no good. To make a long story that kind of has a whole lot of pieces to it, a whole lot shorter, librarian villagers and the enchantments that they offer will eventually, possibly, be linked to the biomes that they live in. Now look, I know you guys, Waddle Nation if you will. You guys are some of the most loyal YouTube consumers on the whole platform of YouTube, so I don't want to waste your time with too much overlap. I almost guarantee that you probably already checked out the snapshot video, but if you didn't yet, for even more information on this mechanic and how it's going to work, I definitely recommend checking it out. Where I talk about it, it's about in the middle of the video. If you're not a big fan of the mechanic, don't sweat it too much quite yet though, because it's fully experimental on both Java, on both Bedrock. It's not fully in the game or anything like that. The devs are looking for feedback. However, speaking of feedback, if you don't like the change, maybe say what it should be instead. No shade or anything like that, but the one big thing I'm seeing from advocates against this change is actually just saying they don't like it, and not any other solution at all. Whether you like it or not, it's clear at this point that the devs do not like the current librarian trading mechanics. If you don't like it, and you don't want them to make the change how it is, then how should they make the change instead? How do you feel about this change, and how do you think it should be? Let me know down below, and let's move on. Alright, so flashback rewind. This is a long time ago now, updates and updates ago. I remember one of the small changes that I really loved, I was really excited for, had to do with this search bar inside of the inventory. Let's say I look up something, I look up something. Then I find that item and I move it into my inventory. It was emeralds. After that, because I clicked away, I can't just start typing. Wait, what? Hold up. Okay, so I found William Taft. I moved it over there. Yeah, I can't just start typing unless the mouse is over this thing. Anyway, speaking of this thing, that's brand new right there. And that's brand new over here. If I tap this X, it's a quick remove. So now I could look up items. Let's say, yeah, bamboo. We look up bamboo, we grab the bamboo. Now to streamline things, instead of typing or highlighting it, backspace on Java, it's way more better. Instead of doing all that, I could just tap this X right there, and then I can go ahead and look up the next thing, like a cherry. Beautiful. It's a very small change, but to be honest, experiencing the change at sunset with all of my trader friends, there's nothing more beautiful than this. This is what life is all about. You know how we move around here. A brand new update, and more specifically, beginning of a brand new era, if you will. That means brand new leaks, for sure. Dark Gamer, the legend himself, translations for a new command have been added. This command is going to be the /warn command, which I imagine is going to be something probably for server or realm admins, things like that. It will eventually, when in the game, send a warn message to the player. So under the cozy nighttime glow of a torch here, let's check this out a little bit more. As far as I could find, the /warn command is not in the game quite yet, but how I imagine it will work is you'll type /warn the target and then the message. So warn me and then stop, and then you run it and it'll send it to that player and probably only that player. It's pretty nice, but we'll have to wait and see for sure. So moving on, for this one, I'd like to send a big shout out to Poggy is Lit over on Twitter. There's going to be a link to their Twitter account down in the description. Before we check that out though, let's check this out. New Render Dragon features for creators. Oh yes, the applause, it feels so good. It's so warranted here. Hold up, guys, is that a reference? In the leaks that we've been following since literally my birthday last year, December 23rd. Oh, it's finally made it officially and fully into the game. This stuff, shaders, RTX, it's done. Shaders, it's on, it's here. Nowadays, going forward, if you want to check out shaders on Minecraft Bedrock fully built into the vanilla game, well, all you gotta have is a PC, an Xbox, or an Android. And probably the right technical things or whatever, I don't know. Well, actually, we haven't set minimum requirements for PC or Android quite yet, so maybe you could just check it out. Oh, this is big. Oh, this is so big. Do you know what this means? Look, let me show you what this means. Thanks to Poggy is Lit shaders. We're checking them out today a little bit. A very early version over on Minecraft Bedrock. I saw on Twitter or X, whatever, the Poggy was working on a shader pack and it looked so clean. This is one of my favorite parts of it so far. The redstone torch that actually gives off the dim red light, that is so cool. Meanwhile, we have the normal torch over there that gives off like the torch light or whatever. And then if I move closer to it, look at the glow on my face. It looks so stunning. Maybe I'm going for like an evil scientist vibe. You move to the, oh, look at that. It's so cool. The red lighting. Oh, that's amazing. And even better, it's just built into the game. You can experience it on like a bunch of platforms already. So in my opinion, some of the most beautiful, stunning shots of the shader stuff happen at sunset or at sunrise. At sunset or sunrise, if we move over to something with like the structures and stuff, we can see a bunch of shadows inside of the world over here. If we get the lens just right in that small corner, you can see a subtle bloom effect coming from the sun too. Absolutely gorgeous. And not to mention this whole stunning gradient. Sunset, all of it. Ooh, it's so clean. The day is finally here. Let's rewind a little bit. So first things first, if you want to check this out inside of your world, be on one of the right platforms. After that, make sure you turn this toggle on. Inside of your world, and more specifically, inside of the settings of your world, if you don't have that toggle on, then you're not going to get these brand new video settings down here. We got graphics mode. We have simple and fancy. That's old. Ray tracing, I think that's been here for a minute. Then we get this new one, deferred technical preview. So before you can turn that one on, as I discovered it, it was like a little bit confusing to me, to be honest. I'm new to Bedrock, texture pack, shaders, everything like that. But long story short, after a bit of messing around, I got the shader pack into my game. Then I went ahead and activated the shader pack. Once you activate a pack that has support for this deferred technical preview, then you can go ahead and access all of these graphic settings right here. We've got bloom upscaling. We've got this stuff right here with a little slider, and this stuff with another slider. This thing has a slider too. Whole lot of sliding. Now it's a little bit confusing, but your render distance when messing with these deferred settings, it's up here. I find that if you can handle it and raise your renders a little bit, things look even more immersive and beautiful. So the first thing that came to my mind was Marketplace. Is this a brand new tool for people to be able to sell shaders in the marketplace? And actually, the mending bow fool himself, Prowl, hit Kayla up, one of the Minecraft devs, with that question. It's way too early to think about that right now. Right now, the focus is on just building this tool. Over the next coming weeks here, mark my words, we're going to see more and more shader packs popping up here, and oh boy, I can't wait to check these things out. If you followed some of the leaks here that we talked about previously, then you may remember that you can set different light colors for different things in the game. I'm not too sure how it is like customizability wise and if it will spill over to like anything in the game. But if it does, the candle, ooh, there's so many options for colored lighting here. You have every single color of candle you could ever dream of. The first shader pack to take these candles and make like red from the red candle, lime from the lime one, and you know, like maybe sky blue from the blue one. What a first pack to do that. Ooh. You are the love of my life. Honestly, out of everything that I've checked out with Poggy's pack right here, I think my favorite part, other than the sunrise and the sunset, is this colored lighting and stuff going on here. The redstone torch, that is so cool looking. Over here, I made like an evil, sinister secret room, and like, look at that. That's so evil. You walk in and it's just like, you can have red light all over the place, or maybe even hidden behind blocks or whatever. And wow, that's just so clean. It's so cool looking. I actually can't believe it, that the day is actually here, but shaders are now officially built fully into Minecraft Bedrock Edition. 100% vanilla game. So overall, as you can see here today, this preview is a very, very big preview. I feel like if I wanted to, I could make a preview video that is like an hour long, but that's not exactly going to be the move here today. There are just a couple more things I like to talk about today. Skulk vibrations and cauldrons in specific. The game is changing. We got a bunch of new vibrations that are now detectable over on Minecraft Bedrock Edition, and I think maybe some of them are only on Bedrock because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but can potions go in cauldrons on Java? I don't think so. Maybe they can though. If I had a Skulk sensor, one thing that I will be experiencing inside of the guide world very soon would be this one. Throwing an Eye of Ender will now create a vibration inside of your world. Why? Well, because it just makes sense. Back in the realm of leaks, Dark Gamer again hitting us with a big one. Apparently, we'll be getting a free beta realm. So this was found inside of the code of this brand new preview, and it looks like, yeah, eventually soon, maybe everybody, question mark, is gonna get a free realm in the preview. This is big. This is gonna be great for testing things. And also, I think previously, you could not create a realm on any of the previews. If I tap this button right here, I get this. Finally, where I'd like to wrap things up today, lads, is found down deep under the ground. We're talking diamond range. We're not only talking diamond range, we're talking diamonds. The change that was made in the snapshot was also made here, and it's the same. If you've been struggling finding enough diamonds inside of the 1.20 update, I don't blame you. There are so many new uses for diamonds, we need more of them. Diamonds are now going to generate more frequently the deeper you go in your world. or like more frequently than they already frequently did, the deeper you go down inside of your world. The Minecraft 1.20.30 update, it has begun. What do you think of the shaders and everything else inside of this update? Let me know down below. Huge thank you to my patrons, Clay S, Nick C, Arlo, aka Bobby, Ape Marie, and Autumn BC 1117. Huge shout out to Poggy. Thank you so much for the shader pack. And check out our Twitter, it's linked down below. It has been me, Waddles, and I will see you all tomorrow with a brand new guide episode. Goodbye.